Good afternoon and welcome to Expert Talks right here at Kalkine TV. I'm Rose Jacobs and today we're delving deep into the topic of technological innovations and how businesses across the globe are transforming. To help us understand the subject better, we have a special guest on the show today from the Asia MarTech Society, Dr. Ken Ip, an award-winning marketing and brand communications strategist. Ken has held several senior roles from corporate consulting to public affairs advisory for leading multinationals and conglomerates. Ken is presently the chairman of the Asia MarTech Society and serves on the board of directors of several marketing associations, including 2 universities, advising on industry development issues. An active keynote speaker, columnist and associate professor, Ken is a regular contributor on topics in technology, real estate, branding and e-commerce. He's also the author of 2 best-selling titles, Life Hacks and Growth Hacks. Ken, welcome to the show. My goodness, that's a very impressive CV.
No, hello Rose. Thank you very much for having me on the show today.
Well, I'm very pleased to be speaking with you. It sounds like you are the man to be able to shed some light on the ideas of marketing and technology. I'd like to get an idea first up of MarTech Society, and I believe for those at home that aren't familiar, that stands for marketing technology, quite obviously. So are you able to just kick us off with a brief overview of what the community or the association really is all about?
Absolutely. I think you already put it very nicely. Yes, I think for the viewers watching who may or may not be familiar with MarTech, just allow me to give everyone some quick background. Well, these days you hear a lot of people talk about, or in the news talk about fintech. That's financial technology, or in healthcare you have healthcare, health tech, education, ag tech, and so forth. And similarly in marketing, we also have MarTech, which stands for marketing technology. And just to explain MarTech in a nutshell, is really about how you can apply the basic principle, the fundamentals of marketing, and elevate it from an intuition, from a gut feeling to something that's systematic, that's tangible, with actions that can be repeated, and identifying success factors that can be replicated and be scalable. And MarTech shapes the landscape of marketing by working alongside with what I like to call the new A, B, C's, and D's. A stands for artificial intelligence, B for blockchain, cloud computing, and data. So together with various means such as your O2O, online to offline, things like virtual shops and omni-channel marketing. All this is to facilitate, the betterment and convenience of conventional marketing processes during our modern era, where we can make use of technology and big data. And we're the Asia MarTech Society, which is a non-profit association representing Asia's MarTech community. We were founded about 4 years ago. I would say it was purely by accident. And my manifesto for of the society is very simple. One is to connect, be it the users, the digital marketers, businesses, the startups within the MarTech communities, and even the technology investors. We help to connect them together. And we aim to build a platform and to provide an ecosystem for the community and for MarTech businesses to thrive and prosper through partnerships and collaboration. And also to represent the interests of the industry in regards to trends, policy, legislation, and be an active voice in regards to industry-wide issues and challenges. And I guess lastly is to promote, and that's exactly why we're on the show today, to promote about MarTech.
It certainly sounds like you've got your hands full with quite a few objectives there for the MarTech Society. I'm guessing that all of those objectives are not necessarily an easy task. There must be a lot of hard work behind the scenes to achieve all of this.
Oh, absolutely. And also I think the innovation has really transformed the ways in which people have perceived marketing currently. And I believe the role of marketing is no longer just about being a communication specialist. I think instead it's about becoming a business partner So as someone like myself, as a CMO or a marketing director, you're now expected to be skilled at using MarTech or digital technologies to grow your brand and businesses, and also to be able to accomplish or doing more with less, so to speak. So that's where the beauty of things like machine learning and automation comes into play. So in other words, marketing has very much become like science. It's no longer just TV advertising, newspaper, and trying to get people's attention. And all of this is to help facilitate brands, businesses, and marketers to make rational, informed decisions, decisions that are data-driven. And I'll give you an example. Let's say, Rose, you're the owner of a grocery store. And generally in business,
yes.
there's only finite resource. And in your case, it's no different. So let's say within your current mode of operation, you can only afford, say, 3 full-time employees at any given time to operate and manage a cashier or a counter each. And your business challenge is this. Your customers are feeling very frustrated because there's always a long line of queue during lunch hours at your premises. So with many unhappy and impatient customers kind of waiting and waiting. So you being a business owner, how can you quicken up the payment process and reduce your customers' waiting time without adding extra manpower? So this is where the science of MarTech can help. So for instance, let's say you go through your consumer data and you see that to see what your customers are buying, and you discover that during these lunch hours, actually approximately a third of them are just really buying 1 to 2 items at the most, like a sandwich plus a drink perhaps. So if that's the case, what you should do then, one possible solution is perhaps you can turn one of your 3 cashiers into express lane. So that way you're able to channel these unhappy customers into a quicker solution, thereby freeing up capacity of existing resources to do much more. So we see a lot of these similar examples being applied in retail, F&B, and across many B2C industries.
Well, I love the way that you've described that thought process for it to be streamlining the system in order to tap ultimately into a core emotion, not just the emotion, but also an educated or informed emotional decision and making changes within a business organisation in that regard. So to ask you now, Ken, how, in your opinion, has innovation transformed the ways in which we perceive marketing in our present lives?
I think, as I mentioned, right, marketers are no longer just perceived as communication specialists. They need to make use of the technologies, the ABCDs that I've mentioned, and really it's about how we can do kind of more and less, and it's about doing more with less and making better and smarter decisions.
Okay, now to move along, you've recently held the MarTech Summit in Hong Kong. Can you tell us about how the summit went and what were some of the achievements from that gathering?
Yeah, sure. I think as we gradually recovering from disruptions caused by the pandemic, I think many businesses are now on the lookout for innovative and cost-efficient ways of rendering their digital marketing transformation. So as a result, their business needs, priorities, and processes are under revision. So during the summit we have in Hong Kong, we discussed a number of topics, ranging from like things like metaverse, NFT, the cookieless marketing, which is related to the phasing out of third-party cookies by Google, and also really getting down to the basics, the fundamentals in the long run. And most importantly, how to sustainably take this momentum of innovation to the next level to connect with your customers. And interestingly, during one of the sessions where I spoke about metaverse, well, to me, metaverse is nothing new by the way. It's basically just a virtual world with things and people. And I think most of us have experienced with it in the past, especially when playing video games. But the real question is, as a virtual world, just how far and how real can we make this virtual world become? To a point where one day there is even potentially a chance for someone like you and I to achieve immortality. So allow me to explain. If you think about it, this is actually theoretically possible. imagine if our memories and cognitive functions can be uploaded and stored onto a cloud database and connected to a metaverse or any types of virtual world. And providing if one can get unlimited supply of data and storage, and if money is not an issue, he or she can potentially, live forever, which is a very intriguing prospect, but at the same time, very scary.
Theoretically, as you've said, yes. Wow, scary and fascinating all at the same time. And if that's just one example of what came out of the summit, then I can't wait to hear some more down the track, of course, and in future summits to come. Now, just moving along as well, MarTech is definitely gaining some extensive attention globally. Can you tell us what some of the recent trends have been that perhaps are your favourites from the MarTech community there in Asia?
Well, I think from a financial standpoint, the e-commerce sector has no doubt enjoyed tremendous growth and success over the past 2 years. And I think this is mainly attributed to the pandemic, and many people are now a lot more comfortable and accustomed to buying online. And each year you see a lot of new technologies and trends emerge as e-commerce continues to evolve at such a rapid pace. And I think 2022 will be no exception. But one notable trend that I believe is likely to make a significant impact would be this concept or this notion of social commerce, which is a topic, it's a topic which is also a topic of my current academic research. In a nutshell, social commerce is a subset of e-commerce in which sales and marketing are conducted via social media. So normally, brands and companies would market themselves on social media, but mainly for the purpose of generating, awareness, leads, and online traffic to their e-commerce sites. But the objective of social commerce, on the other hand, is slightly different. It's more to facilitate selling and purchases directly on social media platforms. And this type of model, I think, it's ideal for today's demanding and impatient customers. It enables kind of considerably faster and simpler access to products and information, and allowing your customers to make direct purchases without leaving the platform. Thanks to features like the Buy Now button, which is very common on social media sites. So yes, I think social commerce has been one of my favorite recent trends, which really helps benefit brands and products to get people to buy online. Buying impulsively. So for example, I've witnessed firsthand how someone would literally purchase an overseas residential property through an Instagram live broadcast. It's amazing, isn't it? I think this trend is likely to continue to grow, especially amongst the younger generation audience.
And it certainly will be very interesting to see how that progresses. I imagine that's going to be an area that will really start to skyrocket in the immediate future. Now, in terms of the short and future plans for Asia MarTech Society, can you talk us through what might be a slight insight into your plans for the times ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think due to COVID, quite obvious we've missed a number of events last year. So definitely we're looking to kind of boost up and resume our face-to-face events, that's for sure. And secondly, we're also looking to launch a startup program within the Asia MarTech Society to help promising young companies with innovative business ideas to grow their businesses. And these companies will be selected by independent investment managers appointed by us. And these selected entrepreneurs will enjoy, access to financial capital, strategic guidance, and technical know-how. And all the profits that are generated from the growth of these venture investments will then flow back to the entrepreneur's fund for reinvestment to ensure kind of like an evergreen capital source for the program. So that's basically what's in store for 2022.
Very exciting times ahead, and we look forward to staying in touch with you as well, Ken, as this progresses. But that's all we have time for today. And thank you again for your time and for sharing your insights into the Asia MarTech Society with us here at Kalkine TV.
Thanks for having me.
We look forward to chatting with you again. Dr. Ken
Yes,
Ip from the Asia MarTech Society, and that's it for Expert Talks today here at Kalkine TV. Don't forget you can take a look at the website for more information, and here at Kalkine we're encouraging everybody to stay wise and invest wise. Thank you.